You have to squeeze together because you're not coming both out on the vertical.
Oh, how much closer can we get?
What? Well,
Your Instagram
why do we
and
need
YouTube
vertical?
on the. All right, I don't have time to explain.
I think they're good. People just deal with it.
No, whoever's watching on Instagram or on a vertical, they're not going to see them both.
I can't get any closer.
I didn't know that.
Well, we're okay.
You mean we
They
should
can
be
hear her. We're live, by the way. We're live. I thought I would just let you know. We're handling technical issues live.
Good morning, everyone.
Hello,
It is Monday the 8th of December, 2025. Let me go live on Instagram. Dr. Kiltz is in England.
with Louise.
I'm where I am.
Let's see if I can turn this like this.
And I'm in Central Florida.
George,
Please.
George picked me up at 8 o'clock this morning from Heathrow. And here we are at the Money Meetup.
Did
And
you
what's
sleep?
the name of the farm?
Maybe in the plane.
Turtle Bridge Farms.
Please let us know where you're watching from. Put it in the chat. Hashtag KMT for what, Alia?
Meet my food t-shirt.
Okay. And
So Dr.
put your
Kiltz is doing a
questions-
mini meetup.
put your
He's doing a
questions in
mini
the
meetup.
chat box, please.
So they're doing a mini meetup and recording something for the BBC. I don't know if they can hear us, but I want to say we're having our own meetup on the 7th of February, and I'm putting the link to sign up for that into the chat. It's in Tampa, Florida.
Oh, it's when is it? The 7th? Oh, it's been moved.
Yeah, it was moved. It was moved
Okay.
because of our dear friends also having an event that day.
Okay. Right.
And this morning we have Louise here with us, correct? Why don't you take it
Louise.
away, Dr. Kiltz?
Well, I'm going to let Louise introduce herself and tell us about what her story is and how she got to this crazy carnivore space.
Hello, yeah, I'm Louise. Originally from South Africa, but I've been living in the UK for 26 years now. And I grew up on a farm in South Africa, so a very similar location to where I am now. And back then, I was obviously living a healthy lifestyle, but I felt that I was so poor, and poor me living on a farm. Look at all my friends in the city, going to the cinemas and, having all that city life. So as a teenager, I thought it was terrible. Now I wish I could go back to that lifestyle. Anyway, fast forward, I got sicker and sicker over the years, having children, picking up weight. But a little bit of a back history. I've also born with congenital heart disease, so a coarctation of the aorta. So I had major surgery as a child. So I was always conscious of health, and I want to live a really good, healthy lifestyle for my heart. And so I was following all the conventional guidelines: no fat, no red meat, all the stuff they tell you that's bad for you. Eventually, in lockdown, things got really, really bad when I had a call from my doctor after a routine heart scan. Then they found growth on my liver, and I had to go for an urgent cancer scan. And during lockdown, you couldn't see a doctor or anything. And those 2 weeks wait that I had to get the scan is when I turned to Dr. Google and the University of YouTube, where I found the carnivore space eventually. I turned around my life. I lost 30 kilos, which is about 5 stone. I don't know what that is in pounds.
It's 110
It's like 100
pounds.
pounds. Yeah. It's a
Thank
lot of
you.
weight.
It was a lot of weight, and I'm not really tall. I'm 1.60 m. Again, that's 5'3". And I had lots of other issues, migraines, tinnitus in my ears, sinus problems, nasal drip, problem with my teeth, bleeding gums, digestive issues, GERD, the list just goes on and on. You never realize that all of those things is actually inflammation. Probably type 2 diabetic as well, with all my waist circumference being probably twice my height. Always crashing at night 3 times. At 3 o'clock in the morning, I would get up and have to go and eat something because I'm so sick, or I feel like I'm going to die. So I always go back, and all the professionals on YouTube has saved my life where the doctors never could.
What are your thoughts, Louise, about this idea that we're learning so much from non-healthcare professionals, and there's a changing paradigm that much of our healthcare advice now is coming from the lay people, which ultimately are telling a story about how they healed and how we're working to share it more and more. And what's your thoughts on that?
And again, this is where I think that we are taking matters in our own hands. We've been listening to the professionals so long and nothing of it's working. They're just managing us poorly with drugs. And now they think I'm the crazy one for living this healthy lifestyle on meat, butter, eggs. Yet all my friends that I'm converting, everybody's feeling better. So you can't go against how you feel. So we need to do this critical thinking for ourselves. And there's very few health professionals in this space, but more and more are coming out, which is fantastic. I've got an amazing GP, and she's come on board, and now one of her GPs in the same practice have come on board. It's slow, but the wheel is turning. I've since become an ambassador for the public health collaboration. Again, there's lots of professionals and lay people, and we don't have to be able to have hanging a degree on the wall to know this information.
So the idea that the docs, we're getting some docs out there to begin to listen. When someone goes to their doctor as a carnivore, and their doctor isn't a carnivore, and they're afraid to even mention their practice, what are your thoughts on how to approach that?
Right. So I've had quite times of this because I'm under the cardiology team because of my cholesterol has now gone through the roof. I'm now what they know is a lean mass responder. And I'm in such a position now because I've done all the research myself that I can challenge these professionals and ask questions and say why, how, what is the mechanism? And if you could educate yourself and not be afraid to question and then waiting for answers, or go back with a strategy and said, I will go on statins, perhaps, once we've done a CAC score and see how damaged my arteries are. And I'm just approaching it saying I'm eating a real nutrient-dense diet. I don't say I'm carnivore. I don't call it any name. I just say real food, nutrient-dense diet, because that's the least friction way of putting it, because you can't argue against that either. But my blood results, obviously, for being a lean mass hyperresponder, is giving my cardiologist a heart attack, to be honest.
Well, it's interesting because I was listening to a book by Marty McCary, and talked about how so many of these tests are actually recommended in order to drive people to more diagnostic and therapeutic treatments. And so I'm thinking back on, even in the carnivore space, the keto space, maybe we don't need these tests. Maybe these tests are really still a drop down from the standard diagnostic therapeutic world, trying to get more people to do invasive testing, which leads to more treatments and more profits.
And I also think that, well, I don't think the population of people's bloods that is out there is all from sick people. So you don't go there when you're healthy. So my blood is comparable to what, 3% of the healthy population of the world, where if they took it against the carb eaters, it's not the right picture. It needs to be taken in the right context.
Correct.
We have some questions out there, Dr. Nelson.
We've got one.
Yeah.
Have you heard the new Carnivore Woman song? If not, I will send it to Alia. Yes, send it to me.
Yes,
Okay,
and
that's
if
not a
we-
question.
I'm sure Amy could do something with that also.
Louise,
That's the only
Were you-
question so far.
were you taking any medications?
I was on high blood pressure.
Okay.
I was on amitriptyline. I had arthritis in my foot because I had major surgery in lockdown as well. I was on lots of over-the-counter pain medication, including for reflux.
Okay.
And codeine for the pain of my foot again, the arthritis. Everything is gone. I've not touched over-the-counter medication or been back to the doctor in 5 years for nothing, not even a headache, not a sniffle, nothing.
Very good. What were you taking for your blood pressure? Do you remember?
Labetalol, I think it's called.
Labetalol?
Yeah, it was probably labetalol because of my coarctation of the aorta. I had to take that.
All right. Are you still taking that? Or
So everything went normal. My blood pressure used to run something like 200 over 100 at the worst. And now it's sitting at about 115 over 60 with just diet, exercise, weightlifting, very little cardio.
What's your energy state today compared to what it was before?
Well, 100% better. I've had another condition called chondromalacia of the patella in both my knees. So I had to drag myself up and down the stairs and come down on my bum. And the surgeon said I would need both my knees replaced at some time. I'm now running up and down the stairs like a gazelle, no problem.
very good.
There's a mention in here about, and you mentioned ambassadors.
Yes.
So tell me what you think that term means and how we can all inspire more and more ambassadors in this carnivore. I like to say keto carnivore world, kind of bring us together. What are your thoughts?
I think that we need to make change by opening our mouths and talking up, because if you keep quiet, nothing's going to happen. And this is why I'm quite vocal in this space. And I'm not going to stop, because when you know something that works so well, you keep preaching it. Same as if we're Christian, we preach the gospel. I feel this is a similar sort of pathway I'm taking, because I want us ambassadors to be the future for our kids. Because there's a guy who talked about washing your hands after the delivery of babies in Germany back in the day to prevent infection and death. And if he just kept quiet, what would have happened? More death would have occurred. So he opened up his mouth, he spoke out, and less death. So I feel the same. I'm opening, not shy. I'm not going to keep quiet about it, even though I get ridiculed. I'm going to keep flying the ambassador flag for the public health collaboration in the UK. We're a great charity. And again, it's not a carnivore space, but it is real food, real health. And we are promoting that everybody deserves a great metabolic health, because it's almost like everybody's just got chronic illnesses and you've got to live with that. We want to reverse it. And I'm also the Noakes Foundation, Professor Tim Noakes in South Africa, ambassador for them, again, helping in the space there, sharing information online, setting up WhatsApp groups, coming to meetings like this.
And that's how we you mentioned the gospel. That's how you spread the gospel talking, and that's how you talk to people about the changes that have happened to you and everybody else. So it is the document the stories that matter, right, Dr. Kiltz? So we
It's
should.
absolutely. And our friends at Healing Humanity, Carrie and Adam, and all of us together are working to share this around the globe. And I think we need some flags.
Yeah.
and obviously we're working to kind of spread the word. What are your thoughts on people beginning to have their own meetup groups, and how we can sort of take it from just one person says, hey, I'm going to invite some friends or some people I don't even know, and start there?
Yeah. As our good friend Georgia said, somebody thinks somebody will do it. But in the end, nobody does it. But if you just take charge, because people say, when are you going to run a group in, this town, that town? Asking questions, just do it. My town, I have now, and because I run the groups with the public health collaboration with the patients in the GP surgery, those people then come to realize what I do, because I never advocate for carnivore as such, but eventually they go, but I want to eat like you. I want to do what you do. And they tell their friends. So we've got this rippling effect going. And so just make it happen. Don't wait for other people to do it. We don't have to just say we're going to go to once a year event. Open up your community. Talk about it.
Do you think someone needs a doctor in order to watch over them, in order to do a carnivore keto diets?
No, I did this all by myself during lockdown with no help. And all I found was information from people. It's all started, I think, with Paul Mason in Low Carb Down Under. And then Dr. I can't remember all the name, Robert Sivers. He's also a South African, but he's in the UK, in America,
US, Florida.
Yeah, he's fantastic. And then Professor Robert Seyfried, or not, what's his name?
Thomas
Seyfried, because of the cancer, the growth on my liver, that turned out to be cysts. They weren't cancer. But why do you get cysts? Obviously, there's inflammation and it shouldn't be on your liver. So that's how I found all these people. So I didn't run it past a doctor or a professional, because I just go with how my body felt. But if you're really, really sick, then I think you need to be under certain supervision if you're on certain medications.
And this isn't medical advice, but ultimately I learned from this community, and I learned how to become a carnivore, keto for my patients, and then carnivore from someone just randomly on the internet years ago. And it was just something that, we're all capable of changing our diets. And let's see, do you need your doctor's advice on how to eat pizza or not to eat pizza?
I used to, but yeah, they don't blink an eye if you're living on ultra processed foods, because that's balanced somehow. But if you start eating just red meat and eggs and butter, then suddenly that's not balanced. But to me, that's nutritionally complete. And you can't go against nutritionally complete. So I don't need my doctor's advice, and they were never taught about nutrition at med school. They just get taught about how to prescribe drug after drug and how to counter one with the other. So I think I would have gone on a different trajectory if I didn't change my ways. And again, it was just something that I watched on YouTube that changed my life.
So the information is out there everywhere, and listening to people's stories and how they've healed pretty much. I mean, what disease is out there that it isn't improved by the lifestyle of carnivore, or simply lowering carbs, adding fat in someone's diet?
Well, I don't think any chronic disease is not, well, all chronic diseases I feel is lifestyle related.
Mhm.
The only time you need a doctor is in an emergency, or in my case, when I was born with a congenital heart disease, they fixed the issue. Things like that is definitely you need medical people. But otherwise, if there's a chronic condition, I'm sure 99% of them can be fixed by lifestyle, because that's how they were brought on, by a chronic condition, chronic consumption of carbohydrates and seed oils and all these things that are unnatural in our modern life.
Do you ever wonder if in some way all of our diseases are secondary to the diet that we continuously told about, and becomes our sort of our mantra in our brain: fruits and vegetables, seeds and nuts and salads, and how to get rid of that brain that constantly says, I need these things. What has been your sort of method of doing that? Change the story in the head.
Again, I think it's just watching other people's stories and educating myself, reading books. Georgia Eads book. I've got so many books that I've gone through, Robert Lustig, all these books. And when you put the puzzle together, you realize that these foods are not ancient foods. It's all engineered for us to eat it now. And I just don't want to poison my body when it's all full of pesticides and stuff.
Didn't we used to go hunting for pizza? And the last I looked, were in Italy until the 1500s, for sure.
Exactly. So we need to, the local and seasonal message, all these messages that we hear from the space, it just makes sense.
Mm.
And again, when we try to tell other people, they're either not ready to hear a message, they think you may be crazy. But I'm just going to keep planting the seed.
Isn't a carnivore diet kind of boring?
And again, I used to be so plant-based because of my health and the environment. I wasn't an ethical vegan or anything like that, but I just thought that it's not good for me, so I've got to limit all these things. So I wouldn't touch red meat, I wouldn't touch butter, I wouldn't touch dairy, all these things. But now my body craves it. So the longer you do it, the more you only want to eat red meat and nutrient-dense foods. All those other things, you just become poison. I can't even see it as food anymore. So the mindset change, and it's a process. It didn't happen overnight, but it happened over a period of time. So I've now been, since the 1st of December 2020, I've been on this journey. And I haven't put on any weight again, and life is great.
Some good comments. Yeah, my oncologist told me I had to take my new medication with the biscuit or piece of toast. And the other thing they always say is, don't forget you have to take your medicines with food, right? So it's constantly eating. What's your thoughts on fasting, Louise?
Yeah, I think it's, again, I think back at how our ancestors would have done it. So who woke up in the morning in the cave, opened your rock from the hole, and then you open your fridge to have your Kellogg's first, because breakfast would have been the most important meal of the day according to the nowadays people. So you would just eat when you go to hunt. You can't eat before that. So if you had to wait, your body isn't going to drop dead, because it gives you enough energy to go and hunt your gazelle the day. So fasting is just, to me, time restricted eating. You can now manage to only eat when they got food. So I don't think it's dangerous. I just think it's a natural way. So I do daily time restricted eating. I don't like to eat breakfast. It's just because my body don't need it. And I eat when I'm hungry. And usually that's once or twice a day.
Does the science sometimes confuse the whole concept of this? We're trying to answer it scientifically, but if you just look back at our ancient relatives and how they likely ate food, and they didn't have a refrigerator, a cupboard, or even a root cellar, not for most of our evolution. Do you have any particular meats that you prefer?
Yeah, I prefer beef. And growing up in South Africa, we had a farm and we lived off the land. We didn't really have much lamb, so lamb I don't really like the taste and the smell of. And again, fish as well, because I didn't grow up on the coast. I grew up really inland. So beef is just so delicious, and we make a lot of biltong, which is dried meat. Love eating that. So beef is my preference every day. Mince, I love mince. It's so easy to digest. And yeah, we just need to look back at our ancestors.
Go ahead, Dr. Nelson.
I have a comment about breakfast being the most important meal of the day. So the statement is absolutely true. However, it's basically a twist of the reality. So the statement is true because it doesn't. Your first meal is the most important meal of the day, and that's going to break your fast. And it doesn't matter if it's at 8 o'clock or 4 p.m. That's your breakfast whenever you have it, right? The phrase was sort of coined by the marketing, or one of the marketing directors or department of Kellogg's, who was the nephew of Sigmund Freud.
Oh, wow.
And was a master mind manipulator. But yes, breakfast is the most important meal of the day, implying that you had to start it with cornflakes and skim milk, by the way.
Ew.
That was
terrible, terrible, terrible.
Yeah, that and Cheerios with lots of sugar and bananas.
Louise, what's your social media?
My name, Louise Benning, on Facebook is where I'm probably the most active. I do have those little Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, but I'm not very active on it. I do repost most of the stuff rather than creating content. So yeah, if people want to reach out to me, they are welcome to find me on Facebook.
Great.
What's your
Karen
thoughts?
asks, go ahead, Dr. Kiltz.
No, you go ahead, Alia.
Okay, Karen McMath, did you have any family or friends encouraging you when you started?
No, I am on my own. All my family is in South Africa. Again, my life in 2020 was during lockdown. It was the worst year of my life. It's such a sad story, but I don't want people to feel sorry for me. But I had obviously the issue with my liver. I broke my foot, so I had to have major surgery twice in that year. 3 metal plates, 13 screws. My mum died. My husband left me. It was just an awful, awful year. But it was also the best year of my life because I reached rock bottom. And that meant I had this pivotal moment that has now turned out to the best thing that happened to me in my life. So that's why I don't want people to feel sorry for me. I turn it around and put a really positive spin on it.
What's your thoughts on mindset in how carnivore added to the clarity and the power of your mind?
Yes, there's no comparison. I mean, I can't even remember. Well, what I actually want to say, you don't remember how bad you felt until you feel good. So it was just like a daily slog. Yeah.
The community, I think the community in carnivore, and I know for myself, conversing and I've gained so many friends and relationships in this community that have helped me spiritually, emotionally, and I know for sure that the power of my mind is opened up over carnivore, and I think that there's a connection in our spirituality. And somehow getting back to the carnivore lifestyle puts us back to our really ancient roots more so than anything. And I don't know if you have any of those similar feelings, because hardship in some ways, we've all go through these sort of things you mentioned, that the carnivore community and that lifestyle somehow gives us a little more strength, as if we're a lion.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you feel the same way, and now that you're a carnivore, it gives you more power and strength to keep moving forward.
Yep. Feeling the I forgot now what I was going to say.
No rush, no rush, no rush. Pauses are good, I always say.
Yeah. So we just have this community of people that we can
grasp onto, fall to, like George is, we got so many people that we can communicate with and go through the hard days and share the powerful days all together.
Yep.
And George and I were, he picked me up from the airport. We were just talking about sort of the therapeutic part of the friends and people that we've gained in this, that we're able to kind of, because we all have our good days, bad days, and just being able to find that in this community has been really powerful for me. I can tell you that. Family. In some way, sort of lost family and community. Are you okay? Whoa. Come here. Help me. Lay down. Lift your legs up.
What happened?
Louise has fainted.
Shut the computer. Legs up.
Lisa's with Dr. Kiltz. Okay. I took George off. He doesn't need to give us the blow by blow. Okay. Ouch. And Dr. Nelson is muted.
I was sneezing.
Oh.
Question.
Any questions? I'm sure they will be back.
Yeah, but you have questions, please.
Yeah, for her. Here's one for you. You can do this one. If job hours are 3 a.m. to noon and bedtime 7 p.m., is there a carnivore solution to keep hormones and cortisol balanced? Appreciate your thoughts.
You want me to be straight? You need to work during the day, not work during the night, period. Night shift, night work kills you. And there is no medication, no maneuver, nothing that can compensate for it. You can try doing all type of things. Working at night, working night shifts is the worst thing for your body. Your body is not meant to be working. And trust me, I don't know what the job is, of course. When I was training, I was working at night throughout, sometimes 24, 48 hours straight in training. And I understand, but night work is not good for your health.
And my advice was, it sucks, because I was doing that schedule for a while. Doing the live stream starting at 4 a.m. So yeah, I was so happy when the schedule changed. Okay, here we go. Papa Carnivore, even if the CAC score comes out high on the test, what evidence would lead you to believe that a statin is somehow beneficial?
So I don't know if Peter was asking anyone specifically or having a conversation, but the evidence that a statin is going to reverse atherosclerosis is poor. So
okay, there you go. If anyone else has any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. Oh, here's another one. Sage Life Gen X. What's the best way to wean off carbs?
First, you have to set your mind that I'm going to cut out these foods and start. Maybe if you are starting from the standard American diet to trying to go low carb, you want to start eliminating everything that has sugar and is ultra processed and eat real food, whole foods. If you're eating vegetables, fruits, at least should be the vegetables and the fruits, not the fake food made that comes in boxes, bags, or cans. And wean off, go slow, or just jump into it. If you jump into it, look into the possibilities that you might get what it's called the keto flu. It's really readjustment of your body to the withdrawal of carbs. Take no more than a couple of days to find out about that. Don't delay it, I would say. What would you say, Alia?
Yeah, I would say get rid of the grains first, and seed oils immediately, and then slowly get rid of everything else. Because you could just jump into it and you could feel very bad. But if you do it over like a 3-week period, but the grains and anything ultra processed, get that out first, and then slowly kick away the vegetables, or fast. But over fast, 2 weeks is fast. Take them out, and then see how you feel on 0 carbohydrates. And Dr. Nelson. Okay, good. You're still here. I'm like, I know Dr. Nelson is gone. Dr.
All
Nelson,
right.
Can you get this next question? It says,
Sure.
I have a friend who abuses red wine a few times a week. Do you think prediabetes symptoms can perpetuate this behavior?
Alcohol, independently of anything else in the diet, it's a poison, and it's a poison. It's a poison. It's a poison. It doesn't matter if you have a small amount or a large amount. Now, some people drink it from time to time in small amounts, infrequently. It's not going to be the same damage as having it several times a week, but that is definitely independent of what other diet you're following.
Okay, Louise is fine. We just had a little vasovagal, happens to all of us. She was looking at George, and he's so good looking that she was just like painted over his good looks.
Yeah, well, it was you that's hugging her, Dr. Kiltz. I think it was a combination of both of us.
Well, that was it. It was a combination of that. So
we're glad she's okay.
He's fine, 100%.
Yeah.
It happens.
Keep the question, Alia.
Okay, you go
This
for
one?
it, Alia.
Yeah,
This question.
the one you had. I wanted Dr. Kiltz to make a comment on that.
The red wine.
Yes, the red wine.
Okay.
Okay. Did we get a red wine? Well, go ahead. What's the question?
I have a friend who abuses red wine a few times a week, probably. Do you think prediabetes symptoms can perpetuate this kind of behavior?
Well, alcohol is a poison for the human body, and it damages the liver, and absolutely will perpetuate the diabetic and pre-diabetic symptoms. So, and then there's the fermentation in the gut, which also makes alcohol. What do we call it? Spontaneous autobrewery syndrome, I think it's called. So a few times a week is no alcohol is good for us. So it can adversely affect the liver and affect diabetes and prediabetes.
Okay, good. We're done with the questions now.
How are you doing, George?
Yeah, very well. Thank you, Dr. Nelson. I picked up Dr. Kiltz successfully exactly on time this morning. Everything went very smoothly. Basically, the sun shines on the righteous, and we're having a great time. It's going to be, we've barely even started yet, and there's quite a few more people coming, so we're really looking forward to it. We had a great journey across London this morning, about an hour, and we put the world to rights as we do. And we're looking forward to it, and we're very much looking forward to seeing everybody next June as well, because Dr. Kiltz is coming. And Ali is privately saying that she might be coming as well. So anybody else from America
A
wants
little
to come?
holiday
come
in
and join
the
us.
UK.
You know, and join Kiltz Mighty Tribe, KMT, and become a global carnivore ambassador. I think we need to have little pins.
I think you're right.
Little pins, global carnivore ambassador.
Okay.
And again, and part of the carnivore is also to invite people even to begin with keto, which is, what did we call it, George?
The therapeutic carbohydrate restriction, which is what we get to as a Kiltz coach. So yeah, TCR.
Lower the plants, lower the sugars, mostly lower the fiber. I think is a big one, and add more fat. And animal fat is really the healthiest for us.
It is, absolutely. I mean, the thing is that we've got the great Lee Coper speaking this afternoon, who lost his colon to fiber basically. And his evidence shows that basically meat gets digested in the stomach and absorbed in the small intestine and never goes to the colon to ferment or to rot, whereas fiber does. So yeah, myself and Dr. Kiltz agreed this morning that fiber is probably one of the worst enemies that we have in the current human food chain. It's very difficult to actually change people's mind on fiber because the fiber myth has been around for so long that it's a real mindset changing problem. It took me 2 years to actually realize that, but I have felt the benefits of getting rid of the fiber.
We got this question. How do you feel about cheese?
Before the cheese, I wanted to make a comment. By the way, George, I have to always put my hat on whenever I talk to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I don't know if any of you saw Dr. Boss's video with Diary of a CEO. It's almost 2 hours long. Great interview, and she answered the fiber question very simply. It was so simple. I'm gonna refer you to the video, and you can watch it. Okay.
Bart's.
Fiber.
Bart's.
Fart?
Dr. Boss, he said.
Farts.
Oh,
Farts.
She mentioned that's the purpose of fiber. So Dr. Kiltz watched the video as well.
She's a rock star.
Okay. How do you feel about cheese? That's a question from Julia.
Oh,
yeah.
Julie?
Yeah, well, I still eat cheese. I come from the county of Somerset here in the UK, which is the home of cheddar. So we have a really excellent real cheese, if you like. One thing, I don't go overboard on it. I kind of use it as a carnivore treat or a junk food. No, not junk food, but as a kind of
condiment to your food,
as a special occasion. For example, if I go out to a restaurant and I have my steak with no sides, and then everybody else is having a dessert, like a trifle or something, then I will always have the cheese board. So it's a good carnivore alternative, I find, to when you're out in restaurants. Myself and Lainey, we don't tend to buy cheese to bring it into the house, so there is no temptation there. But yeah, certainly as a good go-to for restaurants, I would say cheese is perfectly okay. Obviously, we are all N equals 1. So if you do find that you have bloating or issues with cheese, then simply give it up. But I have no problem. So not with the amount of significance and frequency with which I eat it. Dr. Kiltz?
Yeah, I like cheese, but it's the same thing. Well, let's see. My ice cream is way from time to time. My brother says every time I visit him, it's like 3 times a day when I visit Brother Ray. Thankfully, it's not too commonly I visit, but cheese, I like Parmesan and blue cheese. I'll often add some blue cheese and butter for my steak, but I think it could be a trap for a lot of people because back to milk products, where they can be very inflammatory, and they could lead to the pre-diabetic and metabolic syndromes also if you consume them, which seems to be the biggest problem.
Yeah. The other things I mentioned about cheese is they do contain casomorphine. So they there is
Is that why I'm getting a little high when I eat the cheese? That's
well,
why I like it so much, right?
Yeah, I think if you go overboard on the cheese, then you can get a little bit high because it's kind of it does give a dopamine rush via the casomorphine. So yeah, that's possible.
Well, grandson 9-month Julio, I can notice his casomorphine high when he goes for my daughter's milk producing glands.
Yes.
It seems to satisfy him more than anything in the world. That's why we like milk products, probably. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. It's
well, it's instinctually made that way.
It is absolutely right. Yeah, it's very true because it's obviously it's what we started on. We entered the world in the state of ketosis, and we remained in ketosis until such time as we were weaned onto apple sauce, for example, or the fruits. The fruit.
Oh, don't get me on that one.
Yeah, no, that's an in-joke between me.
I'm working on my daughter who
Kiltz.
loves to feed that little one, the little apple. But ultimately, sort of like, what other animal eats milk after infancy?
Once weaned, no other animal does,
No.
do they? So it's crazy.
Here's the next question. Karen McMath. My mom has had low iron and sat for over 5 years. Prescription of ferrous sulfate for as many years with no improvement. Recent lab results 422 and saturation high. She's 93. Any thoughts?
Karen, you didn't put what the 422 is because that most likely is ferritin, not iron level. And that's actually on the high side. So if it's ferritin, so if you could be more specific, I just kind of answer you on the chat, but we can go back to that question.
Okay, good. Let's see.
Yeah, just a quick one, folks, just to let you know that Louise is now standing up and Dr. Kiltz is with her and they're having a laugh. So everything is absolutely, everything is fine.
We gotta get her back in. She's good.
Hi, Louise.
She's good.
Apparently, I fainted on live TV. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I almost fainted too. So as both of us were feeling like the energy, but it happens and to anyone, and even the carnivores, these things can happen to.
I'm all good, thank you. I had the doctor in the house, so I was all right.
They called me in to be here just for this particular occasion. But we have to have humor in all of this, right? And we're learning from it.
Absolutely. Can I just say something about Louise? When I was at one of the joint organisers of the Great British Meetup, it was my first attempt, and I kind of got stressed. And I had to go out and get some fresh air. And guess who came out and found me, put a strong arm around me and said, "Man up, George." She said, you're in charge of this event. He said, "Don't let it get to you." She said, "I've been to loads of events in my time." And she said, "This one's going well compared to some of them. So don't get stressed." So I owe a lot to Louise for that particular advice on that occasion. So yeah, it's fabulous to have her here. And it's great to see her up right now and laughing as well, because as we know, carnivore is fun. And this will go down in memory as everybody else.
We did have it. It has been saved, right, for a part of that anyway. And then they got a picture of us on the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, it's always memorable on these events.
Yeah, we all jumped in together to take care of Louise.
It's the joy of live TV, basically.
Okay, glad you're okay.
I'm okay, thank you.
Well, I got troubles. Keep going.
Okay, here's the next one. I was thinking low blood sugar is what might compel my friend to start drinking in the first place. This back to the drinking.
Yeah.
I think there's other reasons for drinking.
They're about 100 more important than maybe low blood sugar, but
well, it is an addictive nature of plants, and plants want you to consume them so they will control and kill you. And think about it: heroin, cocaine, marijuana, nicotine, caffeine, alcohol are all plant products but they're not only plant products, but the microbes. So they all work in cahoots in order to make sure they have enough food and fertilizer. Because ultimately, we're all on our way to become food or fertilizer for some microorganism or the plants, which use our molecules in order to make more plants. So yeah, there's addictive nature. And so again, coffee and alcohol are not normal in our bloodstream at any significance, but we get addicted to it. And so as the levels drop, that's the nature of wanting to have more of it. And sugar, again, plant sugars, and we were talking about this also about bears and things like that.
Yeah.
They want the sugar because that's how they make fat. In order to survive the wintertime.
Yeah, gestation, hibernation, and migration, I believe you always say.
Right.
Yeah. So there we go.
And if you think about it, all organisms migrate around the globe.
Yeah.
I always read about invasive species. Well, that's the nature of all organisms. They aren't in one place, then they migrate then other organisms come in and push them out. It's just the nature of life.
And to pick up on what Dr. Kiltz was saying about fertilizer, basically when we become fertilizer, then we go into the soil, we enrich the soil, the grass grows out of the soil, the ruminants eat the grass, and then we eat the ruminants. So it is a circle of life. That's the great thing about it, because we never go to waste. I have this saying that we never actually die. What we do is we get recycled, and then something else is created from us. So yeah, it's the circle of life. It won't ever stop, hopefully.
So our job is to make ourselves the very best food and fertilizer for the micro and macroorganisms for the future.
Exactly. And then the micro and macroorganisms will help the grass. Our ruminant friends will eat it, and then our children will eat those ruminants. And that is our legacy. That will be our legacy to the next generation. It is our job to make sure that they are still eating the ruminant animals and that they are not told not to in the future. That will be our legacy to the future generations.
Is cheese and yogurt a complete food? Well, milk technically from a breast is a complete food
for a baby.
But I mean, theoretically, I imagine that we could probably live a long time on it.
Yeah.
But that's not to say it doesn't have some harmful effects.
That's true.
But the Maasai live on it mostly, and they are very big, tall tribe. They don't eat their cows a lot. They feed more of the blood and the milk, so it's complete enough.
So do they do blood also?
Yes,
George. Your friend from the 19th century that wrote the book, The Philosophy of the Stomach, what's his name?
Bernard Montfort.
He lived on milk for 6 months.
What he did is he used milk to transition to the meat only diet. He actually did milk only for 6 months as a way of cleansing his system in readiness to going meat only. But he found massive good results on milk only. It increases athletic performance. I think, to quote him, he rediscovered the joy of jumping hedges and ditches. So it worked well for him, but he never intended to stay on it for the rest of his life. It was his means of transitioning from the wheat and the grain diet across the meat. But he decided on 6 months, and it worked for him. So yeah, he felt no ill effects.
Next
but
question.
It is a complete food, and I imagine cheese fulfills that also, but it's been broken down by microbes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if anybody comes to visit us here in Somerset next year, then we will go to visit the Cheddar Cheese Factory, where you will actually see the whole process of they actually do it in front of your eyes, how they actually make the natural cheese. So,
am I here next year?
You are here next year. Yes, you are here.
Everyone has to come, and we're going to go to Stonehenge also.
Stonehenge.
Yeah, I had never been there.
No.
Near my house, between us.
Yeah,
but think about the thing. Let me get back to the cheese again, right? Can people live on plants alone Well, the answer is they do, but
Yeah.
not to say that it's the healthiest thing for them. So, I mean, if you think that cheese and milk, you certainly can live better on that than you would on plants.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, I mean, while I'm looking around here, we've got a few people in the background, and it's very rare that you see such magnificent specimens of humanity all gathered together in one place. It's there's
Everyone's got to say hi. Everyone's got to come and say hi.
Come on, everybody!
Come on,
everybody! Come on in! Come on in!
Come on, it's time. Now, don't all of you faint at one time.
Who's who?
Right. So we have Carl from the Primal Lifestyle. He's the driving force behind this event. Behind him is Tom, the host, who's we're at his beef farm. Here we have Lydia, who is Tom's wife, and again she's the hostess with the mostess. I think we all know Steph, who Steph gets everywhere. She's a Kiltz health coach. And next to Steph is Tim, who comes from Wales as well. So they travel together this morning.
He's our Dr.Kiltz double act.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. We're going to show this. Both of the Kiltz T-shirts, and it fits any size. By the way, everyone that wears it looks as good as both of us.
See, the thing is, in the planning, in case Dr. Kiltz missed his flight, he was going to come and impersonate. So,
yeah.
Have you got the glasses?
And being very quiet in the background, John, come. Being very quiet in the background, we have John, who comes from Plymouth, which is where the Mayflower sailed from, which is why we have Thanksgiving. And John has an amazing story. He's lost 140 pounds, 10 stone, which is 140 pounds. And he's one of the younger members of the carnivore community. And, people such as John are the future of the carnivore community, because a lot of us are 50 plus around here. I'm not sure everybody is, but
just youngsters.
We get younger and younger every day.
We do, absolutely. We're aging in reverse, yeah. Oh, crikey.
Oh,
We gotta do this now.
Yeah.
Do that.
What's the betting Dr. Kiltz wins it again?
I didn't KMT it, so
No,
we
he
don't
didn't.
have
I
anyone
did.
else on. So
Steve Rogers, congratulations, Captain America. Email me, alia@drkiltz.com, and we'll get you your t-shirt. There we go.
KMT ambassadors, and we have to make sure that there's no conflict between KMT and Healing Humanity, and we'll talk about that later. And let's see, and simply eat meat, be the master.
Yes. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.
everybody. Bye.
Bye.